The challenges that Thor faces in Love and Thunder really is his biggest challenge is himself. The person he wakes up with and looks in the mirror and is faced with every day. That is his biggest challenge, is overcoming this person that he's become. And he doesn't know who he is. He's lost. At the beginning of the film, he doesn't understand like what his purpose is or like why he even exists. What's the point of Thor is really the question at the beginning of the film. And by the end of the film, hopefully we've answered that and given him some meaning in life.
Okay. And this film, Jane Foster returns as Mighty Thor. What new facets will see of her?
The new facets we see of the Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, is that she's now become a superhero. And we've pulled her out of the sidelines of just in the other films being, the chick and or chica. And she's now like a more meaningful part of the story. She's got more presence. She's powerful. She's a superhero, and it's not only important for her as a character to develop that way, but it's also important for young people, men, young boys, young girls, to see women in these roles.
Yeah,
Not just
it's
young
important.
girls to see. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's good for young girls to see this. Young boys need to see this as well.
Yeah, it's important. And Thor Love and Thunder shows significant diversity in its characters. Is this an example of Marvel's real commitment to diversity?
I hope so. I don't speak for Marvel, but for myself, as diverse as I can. I mean, looking at the poster, really, the diversity, it's like, there's a lot of aliens.
You started working with Disney with Thor Ragnarok, isn't it? And you have to direct it for Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Searchlight Pictures. As a creator, what do you like about Disney as a company?
Um, well, I like that all of the people I work for are owned by Disney, so it's easier for me to get between the companies when I'm on the lot. Um, but also, Disney, I think, it's a look, when you think about the companies within Disney, you got Pixar, which make super uplifting films. Like I'm not necessarily like I just make family films, but in terms of a lot of the uh, a lot of the messages and a lot of the their approach to storytelling and how they want to present these ideas to people. I got to give them credit for that. They're about positivity and spreading kindness and goodness, and obviously some of their stuff is very like aimed towards children, but they also are involved with companies like Searchlight, who made Jojo Rabbit with me, and so they that's still a Disney company now.
Taika, my time is over. Thank you. Thank you very, very
But
much.
we'll always have this time.
It's both more complicated and less complicated in a way. I think she didn't anticipate there being so much bureaucracy, and I think that that happens in anything that even is your dream job, a job that you're happy to do. There's always going to be something about the job that is maybe challenging for you. And so for Valkyrie, I think it's the amount of paperwork. Also, New Asgard has become a real tourist destination, which is exciting, but it kind of means that she has some duties that also feel corporate, and there's something about her that is like naturally I don't know, a little more freewheeling than that. So she's having to make an adjustment, but I think she is spiritually bound to be a very, very good king, and she loves her people, and she's always been protecting her people. So that she has in the bag. It's just the paperwork she's got to figure out.
Wow. And in Thor: Love and Thunder, there are two powerful female characters. Being a movie for all audiences, it's important for the young audience to see strong female models in movie theaters.
You, yeah, I don't even think it's a question. I think definitely. I think it should just be something that's normal. I think it it's important for all people to be see reflections of themselves, and but also I think that's not really it should not be related entirely to gender. You know, we had our premiere, and I was talking to Christian. Christian Bale has a young son, and and he came up to me, and our line producer has a young son, and the two boys came up to me, and they were like telling me that Valkyrie was their favorite character, and that was so cool, and they're two young boys. So I think sometimes we make this assumption that that who we relate to has to be a gendered experience, and we know for some people they don't even feel like they fit into any gender expression necessarily. So I think it's nice to have a wide variety of characters that people can relate to their humanity and not necessarily their gender expression.
Yeah, it's the most important. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
agree
so.
with you. And in addition, Thor: Love and Thunder show significant diversity in its characters, Valkyrie and another characters. Spoilers. In this, is this an example of Marvel's real commitments to diversity?
Yeah, I think they're super committed to it. If you look across the MCU, we have lots of diversity in our film. We have goats, we got rock people, we got various kind of gods. I mean, and it's those small details when there's a moment where we're in a space where there are a lot of gods in the movie, and we had so many conversations about what kind of gods, and there's indigenous gods, and there's a lot of cultures that are represented in that room, and I think those things we sort of take for granted. We don't think it's a sometimes we don't know that it's a big deal, but I think those images have the ability to show us not just the world as it is, but the world as it should be. And the world should be a place where people that are very different can cohabitate, can be on teams together, can save the world together, because that's kind of what we have to do currently.
Mhm. And the last question: will Valkyrie appear in more Malfoy production? What do you think?
I don't know. Let's get Kevin Feige and Lou Esposito and Victoria Alonso on the phone. No, I don't know. I have no idea. I love playing this character, and I'll happy to play her in any universe. I'll play her in the MCU. I'll play her in anything. I'll go anywhere. So we'll see.